investigate the security account. I don't know which of the security, whether it is just the armed forces or all the security agencies they want to probe the account. They want National Assembly to do it. It's part of our work already. Every day when we go on oversight is to probe into the account. Whenever the Committee on National Security and Intelligence goes on oversight on either the National Security Advisor or the DG SSS office, is to probe into the account. Whenever the Committee on the Navy goes on oversight or invite the CNS and other naval officers, is still also probing to the account. So it is also the Committee on Defense and Army. Whenever we invite them, or whenever we go there, well, one of the major tasks we do is to probe into the account. Now, if we have been doing that one, and then NLC want us to do something for that, they should give us the criteria of what they want us to actually do. And I think Senate will not say don't do, because that's what we're already doing. That's nothing strange. But we should also be very careful when you are probing the account of the armed forces. Now, the nation or the government does not make a mistake by saying that their projects, for instance, don't go through due process. Their projects don't go through due process. In short, one of the major problems we have now is bureaucracy of release of funds to the armed forces. Sometimes money that are meant for them, for instance, for maybe this quarter, by now they may not have received it. They may end up receiving it maybe at the close of the quarter or at the middle of the quarter. It's not done so. Whatever is supposed to go to them, you give them 2-3 weeks before the time, if it is money meant for a particular quarter, 2-3 weeks before the quarter, so that at the beginning of the quarter, they have money to spend and carry out their programs. Take, for instance, if you are giving stipend or daily allowances to our soldiers in the Northeast and also that are scattered all over the country, they are giving daily allowances because they are taking away from their base to other areas. Now, if you have to give them, for instance, 1,000 Naira per day for feeding, water, and in case they want to have some drugs or something, tablets or something, and then you don't give them 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, how do they feed? Because they don't leave the road and go back to the barracks to eat. They stay there and farm whatever they... Some of them are located in a place where they cannot even buy food. So even if you give them the money may not have any meaning. But it's good that they have the money on them in case they have the opportunity of getting something to buy. Now, that is one of the major problems. I think rather we are somehow unfair in terms of releasing funds to them than they are being unfair using money meant for something else. I don't think so. Because if you go and check their accounts, for instance, in the Army, this year's budget may be 200 and maybe 38 billion or something, if I'm not making a mistake, 30-something billion. And out of it, about 228 or so, close to that, maybe for emolument. For emolument. So the balance of the money, what will be left? Less than 10, maybe 12 billion or something for overhead and capital project.
On the floor of the Senate, a federal lawmaker had even said that when he went to Chibok, when the girls were abducted to rouse, to report the incident to the soldiers, he had to even supply the soldiers with things like with food like Indomie and water, showing that these soldiers, they might not even have enough materials and equipment.
That is exaggerated. There was a period when the foreign media reported that our soldiers were eating mango. That particular area, they said they were eating mango. There was no season for mango in that place. So how did they get the mango? They were far in the bush area. And the people said they are eating mango. And it was not time for mango production at that time. So that was not correct. The case of a man, maybe a colleague giving the Indomie, is possible, it's a possibility. It is the same thing I have said. If you have to give them stipend, for instance, which they use for their daily upkeep, and then you don't give them for a week or 2 weeks, at such period, you'll be stranded. But I think that is now a story of the past. All those who have been corrected. The fault is not from the military. It's not from the Army headquarters or Defense headquarters. The fault is from the Ministry of Finance. If they don't release the fund, as at when they're supposed to release, yes, they might say they have released the funds for the first quarter and maybe for the second quarter. Now, they may have released it. But when did they release it? Now, if you release money for second quarter, at the middle of second quarter, people will be suffering for that half of the second quarter when you release the fund. at all, because the chief of army staff or the chief of defense cannot take money from any other place to go and give to the soldiers. There's no other place. That is why I'm saying that if funds are released a week or two before it gets to the period when it's supposed to be given to them, then those in the offices will also have their processes of transmitting the fund from the headquarters to the various areas when the funds are supposed to go. If they are paying a man, for instance, in Borno State now, the funds does not go to him straight from Ministry of Finance. It goes to the Army headquarters or maybe the Chief of Defense office. From there, they calculate what will go to which area, and then they transmit to their various commanders in those areas. Where they don't have banks operating now, then they convey them through the air, through aircraft, down to the state, and then drive to the place and give to the people. But if you don't transmit the fund early enough, by the time all these processes will be done, it will have eaten like 2-3 weeks to the quarter. At that period, people might suffer.
Then again, some have asked, how can we fight terror when the insurgents, the terrorists themselves, have better equipment than the Nigerian soldiers?
No, they don't have more sophisticated equipment than our soldiers. Our soldiers are using their rule of engagement. There are basic rules of engagement in different kind of warfare. This one is a warfare against terrorism. The insurgents who are fighting you, they don't have any law. No law, but there's no law on human rights abuses. They can come, burn down a village, burn down maybe anywhere they go to. They can bomb, kill people, and maim people. The law does not say that they are causing human rights abuse. What they are doing is, of course, is human rights abuses. But you see, no one hold them on that one. But when our soldiers, for instance, use RPG, for instance, in a simple crisis like this, it's against international standard. You can't use that kind of gun. There are certain weapons you can't use in this unconventional war. That does not mean that our military don't have enough equipment to fight them. If it's a conventional war, then you know your enemy you are fighting. You know your target. Now, at that point, you can bring certain equipment that are not out yet, but they cannot even bring them out.
Now, some weeks ago, the Senate approved the extension of state of emergency in the 3 northeastern states. One of the recommendations, or one of the demands which the Senate made was that on a monthly basis, the service chiefs would come to the Senate to brief lawmakers on what they are doing so far. Would this be feasible? Do you think this is something that can happen?
Very, very possible. Why not? What is difficult in coming to give briefing? The security chiefs are in Abuja here. They get reports from their commands outside this place. So if you want to hear something from them, if, for instance, they came on the 20th of May, by 20th of this month, if we are available, I know it is going to fall on our recess period, but if we are available, they come over and give us a report. This is much they have done after we met with them. It's not a difficult thing. There's nothing difficult about it. Now, it is necessary they give us report. That will enable us to know where their difficulties are. When giving you a report, they will tell you this particular area, they have these difficulties. This one, they have, they can even tell that they don't even have money, or they don't have ammunition or something. So then you know where to put the pressure on to get those things available for them, so that they can get them and then face the battle.
Now, this is where we draw the curtains for this week's edition of The Gavel. If you have any views or opinions on any of the issues discussed, please email us on thegavel@channelstv.com. Thank you for staying with us, and see you again next week.